Hey everybody, welcome back to Lonely Knoll Gaming. This is Droog, and we're going to get back into our playthrough of Kingdoms of Amalur. Um, we were in the plains of Erethell, I believe, and we were kind of doing a bit of side questing. Um, and we were getting I think our most recent quest was this guy named Derfel that he was giving us like 8 different labors to do, and then he was supposed to give us the reward of the treasure of Erethel, whatever that is. Um, but yeah, let's get that switched over to the game video. And here we are. We got our wizard Omen, and haven't quite leveled up yet, but we're doing pretty good. We finally got all our gear repaired, and uh, we were able to unload a bunch of junk, make a few gems. We got more gem or more capabilities on our gloves that we hadn't added any gems to. Um, yeah, that's mostly it. But yeah, let's go back to Derfel, he's back this way. This way. Yeah, there. He seemed kind of sketchy. Yeah, because he says the first quest, well, we did the one, we already got him like the bottle of wine from the dungeon, which that was just to kind of get things started. Our second one was to take a letter to the innkeeper of that town we just left. And he had basically said that admitted even then when he was giving us the letter that he had kidnapped the guy's loved one, and but he was basically wanting to send this letter, and we couldn't, sneak a peek at it or anything. So we took it to the innkeeper, and he got pissed off and saying that the guy murders my wife, and then he thinks he can just write me a letter and it'll all, he'll he'll forgive him, but. That was definitely not the case. He says, "You tell Derfel if next time I see him, or if I ever see him, I'm gonna gut him." So definitely not well received. Yeah, definitely not well received. So, who's there? A jump down spot? I can just jump right down to Derfel's place. It's right down there. Come on, man. Doesn't look like it. That'd make it so easy. Um, but yeah, I, it almost feels like he's just trying to see how far you can push things. Oh, these are the guys, wounded Canadian Guard. Yep.
Oh. Oh.
Didn't you guys get help at all yet? Go Ryvar,
Good day.
Oh.
Florida, and Tam.
Never saw a more drastic change in a gnome.
Oh.
When his daughter came back, he just about burst with joy. He even offered to help us get back to town. Quite a change from cursing and spitting at us.
Oh. Oh.
Well, that's good.
Until later, then.
Well, gnome guys are all right. Usually, about the only run into that one sketchy one that was wanting me to do an assassination, but that's them over there. Okay, I don't need to talk to them yet. Yeah, he seems to grunt when he's starting to sprint. Must pick up all the things. Ooh. Okay, Derfel. Oh yeah, and we went to see a guy that was selling like magic weapons and stuff, and he had some crazy prices. Like I have about 200 and some K right now, just after all the stuff I've saved up and whatnot. And he wanted to sell all these things for 230, 220. You know, there's some that were 400K. You're like, you nuts. And when I was looking at the 200 ones, they weren't even as good as my current items. So I think he was just inflating them beyond, reason. Okay, Derfel.
Hello there.
Hello
I
there.
trust everything went well delivering the letter to Matix Dace? I'm not sure he took kindly to it. Regardless, you have completed the second labor. For your next labor, I need you to retrieve a sword, Hellbane, off the body of a great Varani blademaster known as Three Swords. He was called Three Swords for the three weapons he favored. He was one of the only mortals I've ever known to master the challenging art of wielding the twin fey blades. I'm sure the Tuatha paid a mighty butcher's bill for it. Travel to the Tuwili coast, search near the shore, and follow the Tuatha bodies. Three Swords will not have fallen easily. News has recently come to me of the fall of a great Varani blademaster known as Three Swords. He bested me, and instead of taking my life, he took my sword, Hellbane. I want you to find where Three Swords died and retrieve the weapon.
Are you really a fae, or what's the deal
Until
with
later,
you?
then.
You just seeing how much bullshit he can convince an adventurer to do for him, I guess. Tuwili Coast. I don't want to do that because that's far afield, I do believe. Where's Tuwili? Quest. And a corpse of three swords. Not really getting a pointer. I have to put that quest on the back. Oh, there it is. Well, the Twilly Coast is in this rough area. Like, yeah, it's where we were just a little bit ago. Because I think that one farm was on the Twilly Coast. Okay. So it's just the next little area over. Let's go out and around. Let's see, trying to figure him out. So he's We've gotten him some wine. He was in a battle with the Varani Blade Master and lost. But according to the way, you know, he's described him, that makes sense because he was a very tough dude. And he didn't kill him. They took his sword. But he was also fighting Tuatha.
Get a load of this.
Kandrian Guard.
I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, you do that. Guess it's down below. It's kind of dismal down here, isn't it?
The summer Fae suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a godstorm gathered up the land in its embrace, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
Yeah, he killed some Tuatha, alright. Derfel's laborers. Okay, so I found a sword. Well, I didn't have to kill anybody to get it.
Tearing off desire your thought.
So if I'm remembering right, yeah.
For a reckoning. Die, Morgan!
What I was trying to say was I remember right, the Tuatha are raiding the Tuili coast, but I don't think they have like a permanent foothold yet. Could be wrong. Hard dispel. 33% chance. I think I'll leave that one until I have a better dispel.
Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus from frozen lands. Upon each hill the priestess sang, and closer to Erethell they came. The people walked in groups, the future houses of Rathir, planning the lives of gold and silver, music and laughter. Lush fields and streams Tyrion described to farmers, the first makers of the bread and food we eat today. The mages that awaited Lyria's touch now reap her power.
I know, I'm just kind of wandering a little bit here, but ooh. Things are so creepy. Almost like a Medusa, but tentacles instead. So this is taking me over to a completely different area. Oh, that's back towards the beginning areas, I think. Yeah, because the moon camp, I'll say the moon camp, well, they might have different camps, I guess. Because the camp, I want to say the moon camp had like entries on either side, so like maybe there's one here. Dolvarn, yeah. Okay, that's stuff we've been to before. Maybe it's here and one over here or something. I don't know. Madrigal Finn. I think that was the guy that was always standing there trying to convince you to join them. That group that lives in the moon camp. Okie doke. Oh, we don't need to go this way. We want to go back to Derfel. Toulon. Ornock. Or Honorak. Sagecraft Altar. think we'll keep doing the Derfel ones until he sends us too far away. And then we'll switch to maybe that Emir, a couple of Emir quests. Really beautiful, but it's kind of quiet out here. Derfel, Derfel. Wake up, buddy.
You have acquired Hellbane. Excellent. Now, for your next labors, I need you to collect some items. The Bloodstone, a circlet, and the Rose of Candrian. The Bloodstone in particular must be bought. Here is some gold to do so. She was the most beautiful creature I have ever known. And she is dead. Let us leave it at that.
So he does have some remorse. That's good.
The troubles of the war have tilted its citizenry toward a more religious bent. Tread carefully there. Few creatures are as dangerous as a true believer.
A little bit of a stutter there. Okay.
The circlet is in a chest in the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir. The Bloodstone is with Kel's Cafety and Tyrion's Rest, and the Rose just south of here in Candrian. The Bloodstone is with Kel's Cafety and Tyrion's Rest. I've given you the gold to purchase it from him. The circlet is in a chest in the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir. You'll have to be sneaky about how you obtain it.
Mm-hmm.
You need Hellbane to pluck the rose from the grave of Geradace, my wife.
Oh, so they married Aemon. Wow.
Until later, then.
Now I'm really getting curious as to what this whole deal is. All right. So let's get the closest one, I guess. I'm just south of here. Okay. And a quick way up the cliff, man. It'd make it so much easier. Can't remember where I saw it, but someone was saying that there was fast travel here, but it's like I don't think I've ever seen fast travel. Unless you gotta get to a certain spot in the main quest to activate it. Maybe I'm just oblivious and I'm not seeing what is obviously a fast travel point. It's back here.
On a free man!
Get him, buddy. Kick his ass, Seabass. You got him. One more. Oh, he dodged. Yeah, there you go. Good job, Boney. Intricate carvings of flower and vines, incredibly lifelike in their detail, cover the headstone of Jera Soren. In particular, one rose stands apart from the rest. Oh, hell. So we're desecrating a grave, and then we got to rob from our own order. What else are we doing this bad? I mean, this, it adds to the sketchiness of when he basically doesn't tell you why they're doing it, or we're doing it. So if I leave the grave alone right now, what does it do? I can just hit it again. Yeah. Okay. There's a candy in. It actually changed the description. That's interesting. Okay, so I mean, outside of removing the decoration on the gravestone, it's not like I completely corrupted the grave. Here, I'm justifying it. All right. I mean, it was his wife. Even if the innkeeper is not happy about it. Or she was his wife. Let's see. So this one, see, we did the letter. I'm trying to figure out what number we're on, because I think we were doing 8. Did the bottle of whiskey, the letter, the sword. There's 3 here, and then what? We'll have 2 more after that. I'm assuming that's what. I hope this isn't all considered one task. That's bull crap if that's the case. All right. And of course, we got to run around. Well, no, because we can't even do a turn in yet. We got to go get all the other 3. One's to our north over by our little pool with the boggart. So we can run straight northish to get there. I say straight, but About to get jumped here. And we're actually gonna buy it. We're not stealing this. It's the one in right there that bothers me. Although if I go to the chest and it doesn't say steal, yes, that's such a big deal. Again, I'm trying to justify it. Oh, go away. I got time for your BS. The whole zone just reset. Actually, I'm entering a new one, so I guess it's alright. Yeah, seeing the animation there, it looks like he's concentrating and holding up his hands as they're spinning around. I do believe he's kind of controlling them. The chakrams, that is. So that's cool. Oop. Shields down.
Refugees aren't welcome here.
Yeah.
Approach and await the wisdom of the fates. I am the great Kells Cafferty, sworn and scrupled servant to the Sisters of Destiny. Speak, that I may divine your future, and through my gift, bless your mortal soul. I'm sure Derfel is not very fond of me. I beat him in a game of cards many years ago, fair and square. By my standards, anyway. I don't like strangers who ask a lot of questions. This town is full of old fools. Most of them will believe anything you tell them. Traditionally, this sort of transaction happens under more discreet circumstances, if you understand my meaning. Tell you what, I'll part with it for a hefty price.
I mean, I could haggle, but
Pleasure doing business, friend.
goodbye.
Another fine day.
Another fine day. There's a Fey in Galliford. Yes?
There's a Fey in Galliford.
Holy shit. What does this mean? That's one thing that bothers me with this game is the whole not being able to drop off of edges and stuff. You have to take the path.
Avlyria be blessed.
Greetings.
Oh wait, so I should go north out of here, right? Doesn't matter. So our next one is... Okay, we gotta go east out of there. Yeah, I'm really loving that one. That screams doorway, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I can even see a gap. We might have been in there too, I don't know. Man, can you imagine if you actually had to take part in the whole war side of things across all these maps? That'd be crazy. And to do defenses and whatnot. I mean, I guess I don't know that that isn't the case, but I assume it's just you and whatever you can summon. You don't really... I mean, once in a while an NPC will join us to do something, but... Okay, let's power down the shield. So we're not breaking stuff. Oh, and I wonder if my boss is in here, like the,
So many new faces in the market these
my
days.
mentor guy is in here now.
Baubles, trinkets, sweets.
There's a bunch of little quests in here.
Items of power.
Move along.
Okay, so he did confirm that guy just there confirmed that they're currently under siege. The upper city. Come here and hang a left.
It's a nightmare, it is.
I think we were supposed to talk to a bunch of citizens. That's why we get all
Good
those
day.
exclamation points.
Hello.
So,
Are you here for the evaluation? I've already administered the written copies. This will have to be an oral exam. Were it so easy to summarize an institution like the Scholia Arcana in a few short words, books, I think, do it slightly more justice. The Rathir chapter has some of the finest collections of manuscripts in the plains of Erethell. I guarantee it. I oversee the library in the Rathir chapter. Many walk the road of knowledge, but I make sure they do so in an orderly manner. Members of all ranks, regardless of their skill, must always know the value of research and perception. I understand your studies with us are a unique situation, so let's consider this practice. Take this book, read it, and understand what it means to be part of our order. The Omnibus Arcana is a staple of the education in our institution. All first-year students are given a copy to study. The lessons involve an introduction to the rigors of studying magic, as well as the value of applying yourself to your studies. Each book is different for every user, but they all impart the same basic knowledge. This is the Omnibus Arcana. It is a magical text that holds the collected knowledge of our order.
So
It is also imbued with a certain form of intelligence. Follow its directions as you would my own.
Oh.
This is an introductory text given to all first-year students. It's considered canon. Where was I?
Oh, God.
Joram Quintus of the Isa chapter always has a wide stock of gems and shards.
So there's a guy sitting there right in front of me. And I also have to dispel this stupid thing. I do have a potion for this kind of a thing, I believe. Oops. Dispel. Where's it at? Maybe I don't. Oh, I gotta add those to junk. Wow. Greater magic amplification plus 50% magic damage? That's nice. Okay, maybe I don't. It's unfortunate. Come on, 50%. He didn't seem to give a shit. It's interesting, it didn't say steel either. So if I look at the items, are they marked with a red hand? Nope. Curious. Alright. Now, is that one considered stealing? Yeah, they're very free with their books. Compendium? No, that's not. Okay. I mean, I guess it'll show red if it's going to be stealing, so. What does this actually show, though, if I go to look at it? The I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. The Losofar history. I want to say my character's Losofar. I can't remember for sure. He might be Darkofar. The way I'm thinking of their comparisons to like other fantasy worlds is like a dark elf and a like a sylvan elf or a wood elf or something. Doc Alfar. It makes me think dark, like a dark elf. But they're not quite like Drow though. They don't seem to be that different, to be honest. Okay, so Losofar history. The Losofar, like their Darkofar cousins, are descended from the same original Alfar people who came from Isenreth, the cold and inhospitable lands north across the sea. Oh, we were kind of hearing that on one of the stone monument things. The Alfar settled in what is called the Glen Suthane, and the Losofar established a civilization in the heart of that country. The Dakofar looked beyond the cold chill of Glen Suthane and encouraged expansion into other parts of the world. The more conservative Losofar instead preferred the natural beauty of the forest and they found in Glen Suthane. The Alfar lived side by side for many years and watched as the other races began to build their small civilizations. The elves, especially the Losofar. It's interesting. I haven't ever heard them actually use the word elves before. That might have been a slip. The elves, especially the Losofar, came to love and appreciate the frozen lands that surrounded them. They first built the city of Fieril, and later a city named Toylindre to the east of Glen Suthane. The Losofar only entered the Feylands with the Dokofar. remaining in a unique relationship despite their philosophical differences. Losifar appearance. Losifar are taller than most humans with pale, silky skin and light hair. They appear alive, but are not a frail race by any means. The Losifar have very strong ties to nature, and as such, they tend to embrace the colors that are most dominant in their surroundings: white, blues, pinks, and yellows. Losifar nobles and merchants also employ regal colors and hues in their clothing. The Losifar do not wear clothing especially suited to the cold of their homeland, having become naturally acclimated to the weather and using magic to supplement their resistance to extreme temperatures. The Losifar society, the Alfar people are closely attuned to the magic forces of the world, and Losifar are no exception. Some of the most powerful mages in Amalur were Losifar, and it was indeed the Los of Alfar who first taught humans to wield the arcane at the beginnings of this age of Arcana. Similarly to the Almain, the Losifar value order and structure and have appropriately regimented societies. Chief among Losifar values is the idea of justice and the worship of Inadan, their god of justice. For example, Losifar order, known as the Justicars, are a group of traveling judicial monks who resolve disputes and pass judgment on legal matters. Oh, that's kind of cool. For details on the Justicars and the Losifar religion, the prime work is known as the High Law. The Losifar are distinct from Dakofar in that while they worship and appreciate Lyria as a goddess of magic and luck, they do not see either as an end unto themselves. Both means uh, both are means to achieve a just and right state. The religious leader of the Losifar is called the Scion, a female child of the royal line who is raised and protected by the Justicars. Dedicated to the service of Enidon, she is viewed as a living incarnation of the blind impartiality of justice and serves as the equivalent of the High Priestess of the Justicars. Okay, that kind of explains a little bit of what's going on in the Tyrion's Rest. She kind of is maybe taking up that mantle even for her small community, and that's kind of why they're maybe a little more rigid in their beliefs. But they were pushing into blind hatred and all that fun stuff. Okay, interesting. Hey, we came to the school and learned stuff, which is great. Okay, and he's wait. Oh, and I gotta read my book. Oh, I got a special armband just for that one guy we took out in the Lucky Mine. Must have a bounty out on him. Okay, so we have the Rose of Candrian, rose plucked from the grave of Jera Dace, threadbare circlet. This ancient bronze circlet, riddled with cracks, appears to be missing something from its crown. And what was the other thing we got for him? There's our omnibus. Okay, Omnibus Arcana, Introduction. Welcome to the Scalia Arcana. You, like so many others before you, have assumed the monumental task of exploring the many phases of magic. This examination is not normally given to initiates upon the first year of their studies. It is intended to serve as our introductory to our practices and methods concerning magic. The information contained within the Omnibus Arcana is sealed against unofficial usage, so rest assured that reading this will not result in your unofficial demise. Hold on, I'm going to read that again. The information contained within the Omnibus Arcana is sealed against unofficial usage, so rest assured that reading this will not result in your unofficial demise. So if you're stealing this, we're not going to kill you for it. I guess that's weird. That was a weird warning. In the pages of this tome, you will embark upon an adventure of knowledge. Your quest is perhaps the greatest of all callings, the study of magic itself. The mages of our order have always been those ready to endure the rigors of research. This test will introduce the foundation of magical inquiry, a process which you will find integral to your studies during your time in the Ascalia Arcana. Now to begin this examination, you must go to the Rathier Chapter House courtyard. There you will find a statue of a woman. Go and observe the statue. Okay.
Hello.
It's not a woman. It's this one over here, I guess. Oh, come on now. I can't go down that little curb. That's ridiculous. Consult the text. Oh, I like this multi-stage book kind of thing. That's pretty cool. I've seen it done in things like in the old Neverwinter Nights game. Where's it at? Omnibus. Lesson 1. Eleanor Bria was one of the founders of our order. Sorceress Bria was born some 800 years ago in a life of bondage. I think we read about her in some other books. She was blind and Losafar, far from Glen Sathane. She suffered under the rule of the dictator Ciara Sedanus, yet she, like you, possessed a natural talent for magic. Eleanor Bria harnessed this gift to not only escape slavery, but to ultimately free Erethell of Sedanus' rule. She did this through discipline, through a determined commitment to learning the ways of the arcane. Eleanor Bria represents hope to our students. The first lesson to learn from Eleanor is one for all of our order. Eleanor Bria was but one of the founders because she was the only one gifted with the use of magic. Some considered her the true progenitor of the Scalia Arcana, but were it not for her allies, she would have never succeeded. The other statues in the courtyard represent the other two founders of the Scalia Arcana. Remember them well, for it is your quest to become as great a sorceress as Sorceress Bria herself. You will undoubtedly need the help of others. The second lesson to learn from Eleanor Bria is at the heart of the magical study. Eleanor Bria was among the first sorcerers to standardize the use of elements in her spellcasting. Before her, magic was a mysterious and imperfect practice. Even the ancient Order of Ash, one of the oldest societies of magic users in all Amalur, were as wild and ungoverned then as we are orderly and precise today. Eleanor Bria showed us a better way. She linked these elemental energies into a singular rubric. The three elements of fire, frost, and lightning were categorized, and the art of evocation finally realized. Were it not for her understanding, we would hardly be able to command magic as we do today. The third and final lesson to learn here is that of discipline. Eleanor Bria was not born a usurper. She did not become one of the most powerful mages in all of the Phalanx in the course of a day. It did not happen accidentally, but through years and years of intense practice. If it is your wish to become similarly proficient, you must devote yourself to learning as she did. This requires hours of reading each day. It will involve dangerous and sometimes terrifying experiences. It will test your will and patience as no other obstacle can. And you should be able to continue this regimen, and should you be able to continue with this regimen, you will undoubtedly become as great as Eleanor Bria herself. Indeed, most applicants of the Scholarly Arcana cannot face their potential. Those that can rarely achieve it. Until now, none have been able to surpass their potential, but this may change with you. For the next part of this lesson, you must go to the Rathir Bridge. Stand there and contemplate the bridge. I think what I'm going to do is I will follow this quest as long as it's leading me out of town. And then as soon as it kind of gets me going in a different direction,
Good day.
off course from our return to Derfel, then I will temporarily set it aside and we'll get back to Derfel first.
Lyria, light your way.
And then I say, Lyria, do I look like a gift?
You. Rick, that's what you are.
Move along, citizen.
All right, chill out, Jesus. It's a little harsh, wasn't it?
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels. Mages worth their salt, buy from Leogriff's.
Yeah. Oh, you got some of them crazy prices too, I see. Ooh, but he does have like the next stage of armor, looks like. Crazy prices. Well, let's just do our selling. Let's get rid of these minor ones. Get rid of the blacksmith thing because I'm never going to do that. So I knew it. That's one of the new ones I made. Large selenite blade. Not going to use that probably. No nursery rhyme.
Lyria's light guide you. Students of magic, masters of spells.
34 and 30. Not a gold piece more.
Do you want to ruin me? See my children starve?
Nothing finer in all Amalur.
Read the empty tome. Lesson number 2. In the courtyard, you learn the first 3 principles of method, unity, harmony, and discipline. These 3 tenets are at the foundation of every student's education as much as the bridge is at the foundation of Erethell. The bridge is a legacy of permanence and dedication. Originally, the Alfar who settled the Twilly coast would take a skiff or a rowboat to reach the Spire rock. This was a treacherous voyage that ended with many boats smashed upon the rocks as they were safely harbored. This bridge was built very early on in Ryther's construction through the combined effort of the Dokalfar settlers. There are 2 lessons to be learned at the Ryther Bridge. The first is an extenuation of the principles of unity. For here you can bear witness to what is possible when you work with others. The Rathair Bridge is a symbol for the Dokalfar people, one of perseverance and loyalty. The grandeur of the Rathair visible from afar, but once on the bridge, you can truly see its magnificence. The construction of the Rathair took many people working together in difficult conditions, and they were able to build one of the most elegant and elaborate cities known to the Alfar. This is why the lesson of the Rathair Bridge embodies the principle of proof. In all knowledge, there is always proof of that knowledge. Look at the Rathair Bridge and witness proof of Eleanor Bria's unity. The second lesson is the principle of duality. This bridge is an exit and an entrance, both to Rathair and the Twilly coast, and to the Twilly coast. You decide which, and in your decision, you eliminate the other aspect of this lesson, choice. Your studies at the Scholar Arcana or Scalia Arcana will be exacting. Your teachers will be austere in their technique. At times, you will feel as if you have no autonomy to pursue your own interests, but the bridge represents that dichotomy. In one direction lies the historic city of knowledge, beauty, and the arts. The other direction lies the Twilly coast, a blood-soaked, war-torn battlefield that was once a stretch of idyllic farms and fishing villages. Both paths leads to exploring the greater world beyond the Rether gates. You are singular amongst our order in that you have the ability to determine your own fate. Take full advantage of your unique freedom by recognizing duality in all things. When you are done meditating upon these lessons, proceed to the village of Melaglir in Candrian. Okay, I think that's the way we're going. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, you think some games would not bother to get that detailed, but I love that. This is a nice looking bridge. Yeah, that was cool. see here. Okay, so that is another moon camp. That's not the. Oh, do the moon guys give you fast travel? Maybe that's where the fast travel is located.
What a fine day. The traveler's life. Nothing finer. Not in Rathir, not anywhere, my friend. Free of foot and light of heart we are. They might barter, trade, and whisper secrets up in Rathir town. But it's to Moon Camp they come for dance and laughter and song. Why, the way is right there, where the red gold flags are flying. You'll find fine musicians, mesmerizing dancers. Fine lads and lasses all. None of the mischief you might have heard tell of, not here. A fine city for what it is. A bit dull and proper, mind you, and the City Watch don't take kindly to fun of any kind.
Trading's done in the Pryderi.
Oh yeah, the other quest kind of dragging me in different directions here. Let's see. So we're going back to here. So we're okay if we just stick to this main road all the way down. And go to Melaglir is right next to our way back. Okay. Stay on the road. Piss off, you guys. Just pulling a big stream of baddies all the way down. They broke off, I think. Sure. Can we stay on this and take a left at the next intersection? Is it left? Well, the character's right. But this next little white dot should be my next lesson. Oh, it's all this stuff. Are you Freeman just hanging out right next to this Kandarian guard? Little shits. So he wants us up here. Glad I couldn't hit you there. Was I to read the book at that pot? Melaglir sits at the heart of Candrian, the land named after the family who has ruled it for generations. The village is well defended from two other raiders, bandits, and the wild fae that roam the plains of Erethell. There are many threats to Candrian, and the kings and lords who rule here must be ready for conflict. Must always be ready for conflict. The lesson to be learned in Melaglir is the principle of preparation. For centuries, Kandarian Keep has been a bastion of strength for the Alfar people. The early kings of Kandrian protect all of Erethel from the threats of Durek and Jotun invasion. Kandrian Keep was the only fortress to withstand Sierra Sidanis' might. In the times of crisis, the king of Kandrian would house the villagers within the walls of the keep. A Kandrian guard, as well as a militia, kept the peace throughout the villages and countryside. The people of Kandrian were always prepared and thus able to survive. The survival of Mel Aglair is a testament to one importance of preparation, where the previous lessons facilitate success in the Scholia Arcana. This lesson will also help you survive. Students of the Scholia Arcana are frequently and woefully unprepared to deal with magic. It is a volatile and hazardous force, and there is no room for imprudent experimentation in our order. Those who do not heed this lesson are liable to suffer and unwittingly cause others harm. Mel Uglair stands as a warning to any who would delve into the secrets of magic. Prepare appropriately or suffer the consequences. When you are ready, proceed to the Kandrian countryside. Okay. Oh, this high-priced guy.
Wanderer. Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for you?
I guess I just sold stuff. Yeah. Seems to be syncing up pretty well, the two quests. The book's going to tell me how this crazy creature moved out into the wilds to live and has been there ever since. That's going to be Derfel. Ah, hell, he's on the other side of the frickin'... He's down in the chasm. Well, chasm's probably a rough word. The bottomlands, would you say? Alright, you jerk. I mean, he has a shrine of Matharu over here. It can't be too bad, can he? I mean, some of the Matharu priests back at the original village, they weren't particularly nice either, but very rigid in their beliefs.
Ah, you have returned. Then your 7th labor awaits. Together, the items you collected comprise the Amrinthian Band, the crown of Kandrian kings. Your 7th labor is to reconstruct this crown.
Huh. I'm assuming you're going to be the one to be wearing it.
It is an ancient crown for ancient kings. That is all I will say on the matter. There is only one place where the Amrinthian Band may be reconstructed. On a rock. Find a Fey sagecrafter named Hendy and tell her I sent you. She will assist you in restoring the Amrinthian Band.
So are you like the king in exile, or what the heck are you?
Until later, then.
I mean, some nutbar just wants to become king. With that, however, I do believe it is time for me to take a break for a little bit, and we'll finish this up in our next episode. Curious to see. The longer I run, go do all these tasks for him, the more I'm curious as to what he's all about. Wouldn't be the first time I get suckered by, some villain that's trying out to, screw us over or whatever, but I guess we will have to wait and find out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you stopping by and checking out the channel. Like having you along with me on these adventures. Definitely adds a lot to it, to be honest. And if you do enjoy the videos, hit like and subscribe and help me to grow my channel. I would really appreciate it. And you take care now. We'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.